Hello, welcome to the Soft Love Witch Coven. I have an intention for this video and all my videos that they automatically transform you from the inside just by watching or listening. They're kind of like hypnosis or a good positive spell in that way that it automatically alters your subconscious mind and you absorb all of the learnings and change for your highest and most positive good, whatever that is for you. So in this video, I am going to talk about one of the fundamentals in manifestation. And this is not just specific to law of assumption. This is across the board, with law of attraction as well. Birds. And I've mentioned before that I entered the world of manifestation through law of attraction possibly 20 years ago. Let's ignore how long that's been. And I love it. I still love it. But about 2 years ago, I did stumble into the world of law of assumption, as many people do, often come from law of attraction to law of assumption. And I am incredibly grateful and joyous that I have stepped into this echelon of manifestation. I know that a lot of law of assumption people might look down their nose at law of attraction. But for me, no. I just think it's great and it's all part of this wonderful whole big thing, right? And if I am the I am, then I've created law of attraction, I've created law of assumption, and I can create them to work in perfect harmony. That being said, really love law of assumption. And one of the fundamentals of law of assumption that I love to keep reminding myself, because it helps me keep on track for my manifestation practice. It's more than a practice in some ways, isn't it? It's a lifestyle. It's a way of being, rather. It's something that's really inherent within us. So practice kind of falls a bit flat for me when I'm discussing manifestation nonetheless. I really like to remind myself of this concept, which I'll tell you in a second, to the point where I have it written on a piece of paper and stuck to my fridge so that it becomes part of my daily awareness and part of my daily thought process. And that is, we don't manifest what we want, right? Now, if we get too sad and think, oh, what? But I want it. Let me finish the second half of the sentence, right? We don't manifest what we want. We manifest what we are being. Now, isn't that an important reminder for us to not just desire something and leave it at that? Now, do I believe you can desire something, leave it at that, and it will manifest? Fuck yes, I do. But my experience and what I hear from a lot of other people's experience, that is not 100% success rate, right? It can happen a lot. It might be 100% success rate for some people. My experience is there are a few things where I don't just desire it and it comes true. There are some things where there's something more at play. And that's where it's important for me to really remember that we don't manifest what we want, we manifest what we are being. And what that means by what we are being is, what version of ourselves are we being? Are we being a person who is loved? Are we being a person who is in a relationship? Are we being a person who gets a pay rise? Are we really, really being that version? Are we really, really being that pay rise? Are we really, really being that sensation, emotions, thoughts that come with the pay rise, right? As an example, I can feel that a pay rise would come with an extra level of security for me, an extra level of freedom, an extra feeling of success and achievement. Now, am I really being those things? Am I being the feeling of success and achievement? Am I living that way? Or am I just wanting the pay rise? And it's okay to just want the pay rise, but what are you being in order to have that show up in your 3D physical world? Now, for me, often I notice, okay, so I want the day off. I want the day off to do nothing. Am I being the woman who has the day off to do nothing? Fucking rarely, I'll tell you that much. But really, what am I desiring here, right? I'm desiring rest. I'm desiring the freedom to do the activities that I want to do. I'm desiring the luxuriousness of lying in bed for an extraordinary, ridiculous amount of time. Now, if I was wise, I could see, just laughing at the birds. If you see my other videos, you'll know the birds thing. And it does not matter what time of day I film, it will still happen. I'm going to film for you at 11 o'clock at night one night, and you will still hear the birds. I promise. Nonetheless, yeah, I'm desiring all these things, right? So why not take the opportunity to be and feel these things anyway? And then the day off can come, or it cannot. Doesn't matter. I've achieved what I wanted anyway. More than likely, the day will come. The day off will come. I'm so confident in my manifesting skills these days that getting a day off for me would be an easy thing for me to manifest. I just haven't been choosing that a lot lately. And that's okay, because I'm really enthusiastic about a lot of things in my life at the moment. And one of these things is making these videos. So enough about me. We don't get what we desire. We don't get what we want. We get what we are being. I thought I would remind you of that so that really sinks in, okay? We don't get what we want. We get what we are being. So as always, I'd like to give you an opportunity to notice, to observe at any given moment, what are you being? Because if you remember my video of the yes factor, you'll remember that the universe only ever says, yes, you're right, here's more of that. I really encourage you to watch that video if you haven't already, because whatever we are being, the yes factor will come into play. So if I'm being a miserable old cow, which I never am, mind you, then the universe will say, yes, you're right, here's more of that. And I will continue to be a miserable old cow until I change what I am being. And then the universe will give me more of that. So if I am being a really effective YouTube channel communicator, and I really embody that and I embrace that, I feel like I am, I'm clear that I am, I have my thoughts conducive and in alignment and line up with someone who is the woman who communicates clearly on YouTube, then the universe is going to say, and not just say, it's going to move mountains to prove to me, yes, you're right, here's more of that. And isn't that brilliant? So if you are the woman, and I say woman because I identify as a woman, all genders welcome here. So forgive me if I forget to use your gender as an example sometimes and focus on being a cis woman. If I am the woman who never gets text from SP, for those of you new to this realm, SP means specific person, and that can mean any kind of person you are manifesting to do whatever. If that's the first time you've heard that concept, your brain might be like, I'm sorry, what? But I suggest you look into a bit of SP stuff, specific person stuff, and the whole no free will thing. It is fascinating and I fucking love it. And I will explain more about that at some point. But for now, let's just accept that you understand the concept of specific person. And in the community, specific person tends to gear more towards romantic person of interest, but it doesn't have to be, right? So if I'm the woman who doesn't get, if I'm acting like someone who never fucking gets that fucking text from the specific person, the universe is just going to keep fucking giving me that. But if I really embody, by the way, I haven't done a lot of specific person stuff yet because, well, firstly, there is some brilliant content on YouTube about specific, but there's so much content on it, right? Love that. That would not stop me producing content. At the moment, I do not have a particular interest in specific person content. Am I lying? I don't know. I don't know my own truth there yet. I'll let you know when I do. I'm actually more interested in sharing these other concepts with you first. But, you know, they're more general, right? And I'm sure we'll discuss specific person stuff at some point. And I have stories, right? So I do love to storytell. What was I saying? So she says all that and then she goes on to talk about a specific person. Come on, get a grip, dear. Anyway, so if I want to get the text, to me, getting a text is bullshit because the world is limitless and infinite. Why do I want a fucking text, right? Whatever. But if I want the text, I am being the woman that gets the text, the phone call, the email from the job offer, whatever. I am thinking like the woman who gets it. I am acting like the woman who gets it. I have I have a strong inner reassurance that I am the woman that gets the text. There's no doubt, right? I mean, there is doubt that exists, but it's like it pops up. Congratulations, doubt, you exist, whatever. Go find something useful to do, because my spotlight of awareness keeps going back to me being the woman who gets the text. Now, if you haven't also watched my video on Spotlight of Awareness, I highly recommend you watch that as well, so you know what I'm talking about when I say these random concepts and phrases. So yeah, I might fucking want a text from the hot dude I met. Hot dude. What am I, like in the 90s? I might want a text from someone saying, you are the most incredible woman I've ever met. I mean, that's just facts. It's probably true. But wanting it, what's that going to do? Being the person who knows she's going to get the text that says, you are the most incredible thing I've ever met in my life. Living that way, being that version of myself, yeah, that version will get the text. Now, this is what I believe. This is where I'm at with my manifestation journey in terms of concepts and fundamentals. I believe this. You may remember me saying before, do I believe you can desire something and it just happens? Yes, I do believe that. Am I there in my manifestation journey right as I sit here? I can't be 100% sure on that. But there is an opportunity there for me to be the woman who does that, right? So that might be my homework tonight. And I also want to talk about Sammy Ingram, who is a really popular YouTuber. And I implore you to run, do not walk, to go and check out her content, because that woman is a queen, right? She believes and is teaching the world that you can get your manifestations without being it, without feeling it, without believing you're gonna get it, just by doing robotic affirmations. And that is freaking awesome. And I love that. I love that. And that is also something that I am embracing and embodying and experimenting with at the moment, is being the woman who just uses robotic affirmations to get my desires, to get my manifestations. And I'm not far off, right? Like, I know that can happen the second I decide and step into that. So yeah, definitely. I will do a whole video on robotics, robotic affirmations at some point. But if you can't wait for that, definitely, or not even if you can't wait, definitely check out Sammy Ingram's channel and learn about robotic affirmations. That way, yeah, huge respect for that concept and for Sammy as well. Okay, so a few disclaimers there. What was I talking about? Yeah, we don't get what we want, we get what we are being. So, as you know, I don't say the word challenge. I invite you to an opportunity. What are you going to be? What are you being? Notice what you are being at the moment, and what you are being reflects in your 3D reality, right? If you can't observe or understand what you are being, if you're not quite sure, like, what am I being, right? There is one surefire way that tells you exactly what you are being, and you cannot argue with it. And that is what is showing up in your 3D reality. So if you are getting ghosted every weekend, you are being the person that gets ghosted. There's no denying it, right? Like, 3D shows you exactly what you are being. And I think that's kind of fucking cool. I think it's really, really handy to have that constant feedback right in front of your face. It's a really handy tool. The 3D reality is actually a really handy tool. And if you see it as a tool to keep showing you who you are being, what you are being, then you can adjust. I would advise not to hinge everything on 3D reality though, and don't keep looking for it in 3D reality. Keep focusing on what you are being and observe what you are being, and bring your awareness back and back and back and back to what you are being. It's the spotlight of awareness, right? Bring your spotlight of awareness to what you are being. And then your opportunity from there is to be that thing you desire. As always, here in the Soft Love Witch Coven, we treat ourselves with softness, we treat ourselves with love, we treat ourselves with kindness, we treat ourselves with soft love. Everything you do and approach is with soft love. So please remember to practice that when you are taking on this opportunity, learning this concept and putting this concept into place. And I am always really, really enthusiastic to hear about your experiences, hear about any questions you have. Please share with me your experience, even if you think that it seems really minuscule. I do not give a fuck. I want to hear it. Pop it in the comments. Let me know your experience of changing that shift, that mindset, bringing that awareness of what you want to what you are being. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.